Welcome viewers of YouTube, this is NA2 right here. Here I am showing a replay of my first ranked battle for the 5th ranked season. And this is my first time using a replay file, so this is actually a little exciting for me too. As, well, let's just say I'm not very accustomed to using replays. Well, after I figured out how to do it, it's just, well, a friend showed me a video, but let's stop talking about that. Let's talk about the video. Here I'm using my Ognevoi, a tier 6 ship. And I am currently at, I believe, rank 23. Yeah, my FPS for this game was really, oh wait, no. Yep, this is a pre-recording. So, these recordings, anybody can pretty much do them. And every recording takes about just 2 to 4 megabytes of data on your hard drive. You can always look it up, just say how to do replays for World of Warships, and you should be fine. Then you can also show proof if there are any, like, say, players cheating or just being too much of an ass. Did I just say that on my video? Okay, I'm not gonna say it again. So as the Ognevoi destroyer, while all the other ships behind me are cluttered up, I act as the scout for this time around. Let's see, what is the better course of action for the situation? As there was a sighted battleship, but oh, there he goes, along with 2 other battleships, both within one of them within my range. Right now it is both, so I could attempt the long skewered shot. I believe arm piercing would be beneficial at this time as well. Even though destroyers may not have the best armor piercing, it will do at least slightly more damage, despite maybe not getting a citadel hit. And apparently that's the lineup for the battleships. All of the ships are now visible and within my detection radius, and I am already starting to claim Zone B, while the enemy has already worked on claiming Zone A. And here I decided to take my first shot at the Arizona, which caused me to be exposed and detected. But and I've already scored a hit, which I have friends who could probably score do much better and avoid getting hit. But now I decide to hide behind the island. I should go to the other route. NA2, yes. The Ognevoi now decides to hide behind the island and just wait to capture the base. It's just to avoid damage. And while it waits for the rest of the team to show up, and we have another cruiser in sight. That would be the, I'm not sure of names. Several ships, such, yes. The New Mexico is now also being hit. Basically, any ship within range is fair game. I just try to aim at everyone and all of them. There's nothing else. As for a ranked battle, this isn't exactly too hard when I first experienced it. But it's also not too bad. And that was an overshot munitions. Here I'm trying to use the armor piercing to hopefully get a citadel hit, or at the very least do more damage than I normally would from just using regular munitions. And I do score much more damage, about 2k worth of damage from those past 2 shots. And another 800 damage from that one hit, from those 2 hits. Here an ally, Aoba, pronunciation is not my forte, is now within general area, and a destroyer is a detection. That would be the Frogna pronunciation. I skewer them all the time, so I am trying to just keep this video entertaining. But my perspective on shots is always very weak. Collision. My perspective on shots is always very weak. Over and under shooting things is just an absolute, happens all the time for me. It's very difficult to properly gauge what is the most accurate, accurate shot to make, as I don't exactly pay attention to the shell velocity for each individual shell. But I do my best in trying to, well, I assume that most ships of the same type, like say, most tier 6 destroyers will at least have the same amount of damage, same amount of velocity either, also. That's supposedly what they will do with the Fubuki. Apparently, a cruiser on my side has been just sunk. And now, I'm about to face a barrage of ships, all of which are pretty much at low health. So I take the opportunity to try to go around and do as much damage as I can, and Ognevoi has scored a successful kill. And working more on the Arizona, the next ship that's closest and the only available target that's not obstructed by any view. Armor-piercing shells. It should be aiming at the ship that was right near me. I believe it was the New Mexico. My mistake. I think it was the Oba. Oba. Oh, another ship that's much closer and a much more, probably better target. Another potential collision, which oh, no way of avoiding this. I just like bump off it. It's sort of weird. Should I involve politics in this game? No, not yet. It's sort of weird. But at this range, if I just get any closer, I may be able to use torpedoes on it. I think that's the option I choose to do. Attempt at torpedo salvos. Oh, the Ognevoi is not exactly specialized for torpedoes. Actually, it might more or less be. It is pretty powerful with that. There. And torpedoes away, and I decide to crash in it just to avoid any other damage, which is actually probably more beneficial for the long run, rather than trying to turn right at that moment and try to snake around the island. Then I potentially could get hit through the hull. So while those torpedoes looks like they actually will miss, take the opportunity to just unload as many munitions as possible on the enemy ship. And probably now is the more beneficial time to use the armor piercing. If I just remember to switch, but I probably just don't think about time. The scoring fires is actually not that bad. And looks like I have chosen the switch to armor piercing. And I might do more damage along the way for this. Looks like the bullets are ricocheting, so not doing any damage. I expected armor pierce. Well, if the velocity and the weight of the munitions are not heavy and fast enough, then it probably won't even make a scratch. Or the over-penetration would just do nothing. However, if it's over-penetrating, shouldn't it cause some sort of flooding in these events? I think I went over this with someone, but just another thought. And I decided to now go with the New Mexico to team up against the enemy New Mexico, as both their healths are fairly low, and I might take the opportunity to assist in any way possible. Being surrounded by other ships. The Muski is alive, and the other ship that just got sunk. Muski must have used a smoke screen and its torpedoes. It has just... Looks like the Allied New Mexico has barely avoided those torpedoes, and I've already seen them pretty much like a few kilometers away, so that really was no worry to me. At this point, I realized I should use some sort of support for New Mexico. Well, after recording, but no. I should have done it before. Then potentially it would have allowed a more survival time for New Mexico. But instead, I decided to keep my distance and unload more munitions on the enemy New Mexico, doing a fair amount of damage with the armor-piercing rounds. It's at this time I realized I should probably assist my ally New Mexico in any way possible. So I decided to speed up towards him and, brush of luck, use a smoke screen soon to hopefully assist and allow him to hide within that. Hopefully I'll make him fast enough to... Hopefully he should understand that I want to use my smoke screen to help hide him, but in the end he ultimately dies already, so there's no loss there. There's a loss there. Looks like the enemy Mutsuki has decided to launch torpedoes at the smoke screen, probably assuming that I would be there, as smoke screens are technically basically torpedo magnets. But in turn, I decided not to use the smoke screen, and this is a loss at a disadvantage for the enemy. Now I already just lost a turret. Probably at this time it'd be best to reload, return to repair. But I consider the opportunity that any other, that it's not beneficial to do repair right now in the event that any fires could occur. Fires are flooding. Well, if I was flooded, I would maybe be surviving afterwards. I had fairly little health. I consider the opportunity to unload torpedoes, but at this distance they probably fizz out before I hit, and now I've already sunk. And that would be it for me. It looks like the enemy Mutsuki has already been sunk and overwhelmed by the two allied battleships. No, allied battleship and allied destroyer. New Mexico is about to face a barrage of torpedoes, but already has dodged it as at that distance. Who would not exactly notice that? But exactly doing fine. Looks like that second round of torpedoes may actually make contact. And it appears that, yes, those torpedoes are about to make contact. At this point, there's no way to escape it. It must not have any more repairs. So looking back at this battle, I did not exactly do that bad. For my first battle, I did an average amount, a fair amount of damage. Got a good amount of XP actually. And got a lot of credits. I believe that's because it is a ranked battle. You must get more points for ranked battles. Well, I slightly unlocked Enachi. Completed a few missions. That's alright. In my team, I scored second place. So, I truly did pretty good. It's not bad. It's actually pretty good. Fair amount of damage on each of the ships I was able to at least score hits on. But a few incapacitations. I probably would have been better if I repaired it. It would have been much more helpful. From that battle, I was put to rank 22. So, I did pretty good. Well, it's the first rank. Things will get much harder from here. Well, this is my first battle. I just thought it'd be more interesting to make this into my video. So that was this video. If you liked it, like, favorite, subscribe. Please follow me on Facebook with using the username you see below. Search that up right there. And watch any of my previous videos. Because I worked so hard in it. I put a lot of effort, and I'm hoping to do well as a YouTuber. Stop saying And this is NA2, signing out.